back in with another news video for Marvel's Avengers now. This is on the back of the latest blog that I'll break down and I'll give my thoughts on. So the blog was everything you need to know about gear and cosmetics. A really informative blog. It's actually a really encouraging blog to read as well, because it looks like the business model they will be using to support the game is an incredibly fair one, and if anything, I think they're maybe being a bit too generous. That's the only worry I actually have. I want this game to keep going, so I want to be ways for people to actually be encouraged to spend in order to support it. But I'll run through the entire blog and I'll break it all down and I'll give my thoughts on it as well. So let's jump in. So I'll just read this out here and then I'll give my thoughts when we get to any particular points of interest. So starting off, from our very first presentation of Marvel's Avengers at E3 2019, we've made clear that reassembling the Avengers is just the start of our story. We've also committed that future playable updates such as new characters, story content, missions and regions will be available at no additional cost. So that of course is really pretty awesome, considering the fact the game could run for years. Moving on, to put this into context, Hawkeye will have his own unique in-depth story mission chain which can be played either co-op or solo. He will also bring a new villain with him, and I believe they have committed to new villains actually appearing alongside new heroes, so that's really pretty exciting. Also mentions, like the core 6 heroes, he and all future characters will have custom move sets and combos, skills, gear, heroics, and assortment of free unlockable outfits, emotes and nameplates. I wonder if that's their way of saying that we're all wrong about Echo characters. I'm really still not sure, to be honest, from this. But moving on here, by releasing all this new content for free, we prevent content gating and guarantee that you and your friends can experience these exciting additions together, and that's fantastic. That's really consumer friendly. Taking on emerging threats as a team of Earth's mightiest heroes. So far so good. We're also committed that content purchasable with real money in Marvel's Avengers will be aesthetic only additions, so there'll be no complaints about pay to win or anything like that, thankfully, and this will ensure we can keep the game fresh for years to come. The fight against AIM is only just beginning. There is so much more story and more heroes on the horizon. Our in-game economy is built on a player-first approach where you can earn outfits, emotes, nameplates and amazing gear through play, as well as tailor your style and store cosmetics purchased using credits. So credits will be what you actually buy with real life money. They can be exchanged by real world currencies, it actually states here. In the spirit of transparency with our community, here is a breakdown of how it all works. We start off here then with what are cosmetics. So cosmetic items come in 4 different varieties. You have outfits, emotes, takedowns and nameplates, and I think this is a really clever move on their part, because each of the 4 things I've just listed, they're all aesthetic. None of them actually change gameplay. There can be no complaints about pay to win with any of these, but they give players that are perhaps really enjoying the game, want to support the developers, a way of actually putting a little bit of money in and getting something back in return for it. So I really do like this model. But to break this down, you've got outfits are aesthetic only. They do not influence gameplay. This was an intentional decision to avoid pay to win play scenarios. That's all good. Emotes, character specific emotes, bring out the personality of each superhero and let you express yourself to your teammates, AI or otherwise. I do know when it comes to Hawkeye, I'll probably be buying all the different emotes for him, and I could actually see the emotes being quite a good seller for people that really play around with the photo mode a lot. It will enhance your photos if you can get some pretty awesome poses that are being struck there as well. You then have takedowns. This is something that I called in an earlier video, because if we think back to the last war table when they were actually going through the cosmetic tab, one of the options was takedown. It wasn't there in the beta, but it was definitely there in the war table, and I could see them actually selling these, and again, I don't mind that at all. So with these, takedowns are flashy finishers that show off each hero's signature style in the battlefield, so hopefully we'll have a selection. When I was playing the likes of Black Widow, she looked to have 3 takedowns and regular enemies. Some other heroes I could only really get 2 different takedowns to proc, but the way I imagine this will work is you get to choose a selection of takedowns and it will randomly play through them there. We finish up this section here with nameplates. Something that I think out of the options we've ran over is one that I wouldn't really go for too much, but it's not going to take them a particularly long time to make nameplates, and it will be a way of bringing in revenue, so no real complaints. But nameplates show off your hero's stats and are drawn from iconic art and Marvel history, and then it states there are several ways to earn, craft or purchase cosmetics which are outlined below. We then have how do vendors work. So you can see an actual image of one of the vendors here. It looks to be a reconditioned AIM robot called Roy. So vendors are narrative-based store operators who can be found in multiple locations in our game world. They sell cosmetics, gear and rare resources in exchange for units and common resources. So starting off with resources. Resources come in common, rare and exotic varieties and are traded with vendors or used to upgrade gear. If you played the beta, you'll know how this actual system works here. States as well, resources can be found in resource crates dropped by enemies, gained through dismantle artifacts, received as faction assignment rewards and via hero challenge cards. We're going to talk about the challenge cards a lot more in a moment. You then have patterns, which is something that's not really been discussed yet. So patterns are earned through high level crates, activities, faction missions and increasing your faction level. From data mines that I've seen, I think the faction levels for Shield and Inhumans, so look to be the two factions at launch, will go up to 100. There's going to be a fair amount of grind in there, and it states they can be used at fabrication machines to create an outfit or nameplate. We actually seen that in one of the war machines or one of the videos as well, where Iron Man goes up to a machine. It was Iron Man or Miss Marvel, they go up to a machine and then you see a random outfit that actually comes out of it. We have units up next. This looks to be your money in a way in the game. So units are our soft currency, in-game digital currency with no real world value, which can be spent with vendors, and units can be found in strong boxes or earned as rewards for increasing your faction levels. So all pretty self-explanatory. That for the first time we've actually seen a gear piece for Captain America. I believe it's just in the middle, it's a blue one. You can see the little star there as well. So don't worry, Captain America is most definitely not dead, he will be back. We've got some more information on gear vendors here. So gear vendors will sell you character specific gear and resources in exchange for fragments gained through play. Collecting and dismantling gear will find you full of fragments and other resources, which is why it's worth picking up everything and dismantling unneeded items for resources to exchange or reinvest. And gear rotates daily and weekly. You can see a cosmetic vendor here, someone called Chastity McBride, so it's a pretty unique sounding name. Now also mentions that cosmetic vendors accept units gained through play to purchase outfits, emotes and nameplates. Legendary outfits rotate weekly, while nameplates, emotes and epic and rare outfits rotate daily. I'm just hoping with outfits that are rotating weekly that they do come back. I don't want there to be a situation where we feel forced to actually perhaps buy something and we feel forced to play the game for a set amount of time to get a set amount of credits before a costume disappears. I really don't like that when you have that in games. Exclusive timed items, it always feels bad when you miss out on them. It's good if you get them, but it really feels bad if you do miss out on them. But you can see various different costumes here. Down the bottom left we've got, I believe, possibly a new one for Cap and Iron Man, and they both look really nice. So this is where we start talking about the marketplace, and this for me is definitely the most interesting aspect of the blog. So we've got some images of 4 costumes. These are ones that were actually leaked the other day. You've got that horrible leopard skin costume. Don't know what they're thinking with that, and I certainly wouldn't be buying that one, but you've got costumes there. You've actually got a new one, the blue one down on the bottom line for 700 credits. Don't believe we've seen that before, but to run through this, it's how does a marketplace work. So in addition to all the content you can earn or buy with units from vendors, Marvel's Avengers also features a marketplace. The marketplace exists outside the game's narrative and it's accessible via the main or cosmetic menu. It's a place for us to feature purchasable cosmetics in the form of outfits, emotes, takedowns and nameplates. The marketplace's uncommon, rare, epic and legendary items rotate weekly and be purchased with credits. Just like I mentioned a moment ago, I'm not a fan of this rotating weekly. I would rather everything was just actually there, and again I hope nothing's going to be a timed exclusive in regards to this. We then have a breakdown of credits and the conversion rate for them. So credits are our hard currency, in-game currency purchased with real money that can be spent in the marketplace and cosmetic items. So a 500 credit pack is $5. Credits come in packs of 500, 2000, 5000 and 10,000 with bonus credits for bigger packs. So your 10,000 pack, going by the conversion rate on the lowest one, would round about be $100 or so, which is a fair amount to put into the game. All depends how much expendable money you have and how much you are enjoying it, I suppose. If we look at that conversion rate in regards to the costumes that are available, the 4 ones at the top there would work out at $9. The fact a few of them are recolours, that does feel a bit too much for me. I'm not going to complain too much, because in a moment we'll look at the battle pass, which seems to be exceptionally fair, and you've also got the fact that these are cosmetic only, and we're getting free heroes, we're getting free new regions as well. So yeah, a little bit on the higher side, but not a deal breaker or anything for me at all. Other costumes as well, the rare ones coming in at $7, you've got an emote at $5, $2.50 for the rare emotes, and then $2 for a nameplate as well. But let's jump in and let's check out the battle pass section, and this one is really pretty interesting. So earlier on in the video I did mention the fact that I feel in some ways with this update they are perhaps being too generous. I wasn't of course referring to the 4 recolor costumes a moment ago that are $9, but instead this section here, where it seems to be exceptionally fair what they are doing, almost too fair if such a thing could be said. So to break this down, hero challenge cards allow players to earn resources, units, credits and cosmetics for completing in-game challenges, essentially do cool things to earn cool rewards. Each hero challenge card is 40 tiers of free, and then this section here coming up is new and premium rewards. So if you think back to the beta, you had that long line along the top that said free, and then you had the big space underneath it, and I think everyone guessed there was going to be something else there. So there will be premium rewards. So with this, rewards are earned via challenge points by completing daily and weekly challenges. Hero challenge card rewards include, so you've got rare resources, resource bundles, upgrade modules, exotic resource bundles, units, credits, so credits are converted into your real world money. Then you've got hero nameplates, team nameplates, emotes, takedowns and outfits. I'm really hoping that the first few things that I listed out, the resources that are used in game, such as units, which is the in-game money, the upgrade modules and so on, they should only really show up in the free section of this challenge cards, because if they show up in the premium section, which costs real world money, then in a way you are buying power to an extent in games. So that's something that does concern me a little bit, and so fingers crossed the premium section is 100% cosmetic only. It then states that we've activated the premium hero challenge card rewards for all 6 starting heroes at launch, so you can earn and enjoy all content across the 40 tiers for free. Now that's great to see. Some companies, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they would come out and they would ask people to stump up the $10 for 6 heroes on launch, and then there would be a backlash and they would pretend to back down and give it away for free as if they're doing something good for the consumers. But Crystal Dynamics have come out in the first instance and actually done this, so props to them for doing that. Now it states as well, when we introduce new hero challenge cards for post-launch heroes, the cost to activate the premium rewards will be 1,000 credits, so that is the equivalent of $10. However, there will be ways to actually earn that. If we look at this here, so we want to reward players for their time. So once you activate the premium rewards of a hero challenge card for 1,000 credits, you can earn everything on that card, including more credits. If you complete all challenges on your hero challenge card, not only will you earn back your 1,000 credit activation cost, all the content you earn has a value of over 12,500 credits. Remember, these rewards deliver fun in-game cosmetic enhancements and effects, but they do not provide a gameplay advantage. Now, just to break this down, because this section isn't entirely clear, and you could actually read this a few ways, I'm fairly certain that with the 6 launch heroes, their premium section has been activated automatically, whereas specifically in this blog it states that once you activate the premium reward section of a hero challenge card, you'll get 1,000 credits. So I'm fairly certain, although it's just speculation, but I'm fairly certain that for the 6 launch heroes we won't be seeing the 1,000 credits for them, because otherwise that would be them giving us the equivalent of $60 worth of credits for free, and I'm actually fine if they don't do that, to be honest. So the way this setup would work, if I am correct, is what would happen is we'll be getting all our costumes and all our gear and so on for the 6 launch heroes. You'll have the first post-launch hero that will come out, and unless you've actually purchased credits in game, you won't have any. So you'll put $10 into the game. Once you finish and max out that particular hero challenge card, you'll then essentially get your $10 back for the next hero. But bear in mind, the challenge cards are time gated unless you actually go in and purchase them. So I'm pretty certain what they'll do, and again I don't mind it too much because they have to make money to keep the game going and give us these free heroes. But what I think they'll probably do is release heroes at a rate that it'll be quite difficult, if not impossible, to actually finish the challenge card and get those full 1,000 credits before the next hero comes out. So that way you'll feel tempted to top up a little bit in order to finish the challenge card for the previous hero in order to get enough credits to unlock the next one. But once again, I don't actually mind them doing that at all. But just to finish up here then, hero challenge cards do not rotate and won't be retired, so that's great to see. I don't like these things. Once again, you feel under pressure, you need to play the game a certain amount to unlock something before it disappears. So it says there is no time limit or risk in spreading your focus between heroes. Again, that's really great, because when I did see the challenge cards at first, I was really worried that maybe they were going to be timed and rotate, and with the roster growing on a constant basis, they would just quickly grow out of control. But just finishing up, it says, that being said, if you're in a hurry, you can buy skips to get through tiers faster. And again, that's more than fair, but I do think the skip thing will work into the fact that hero releases will be quicker than you can actually max out a tier. But I'm going to say it once again, I don't actually mind. We're getting free heroes, we're getting free Hawkeyes, we might be getting free Black Panthers, free Wakandan regions. I don't mind putting a little bit of money into the game in order to support that at all. But this actually took a lot longer than I did expect, so if you've made it to the end, I do appreciate it. Let me know what you think about everything in the comments below, specifically this last page, because for me that was the most interesting part of the blog. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.